Hello everyone, it's great to have you here. This is Four Walls, Nigeria's first and foremost television show that dissects every issue connected to schooling and the education sector. I am Mr. Adolf, the teacher, and thanks for being here for me. This is the time to look at the green board. For the classwork, I picked Academy Street by Mary Costello for what I call almost a book review. Then a preface to the main topic, sports in the varsity. Come next is the examination, and then we'll meet our special guest who will be joining me to discuss the issues with sports in Nigerian tertiary institutions. Thereafter, grading and assignments will follow. Before anything further, here are two latest updates on education. Nasarawa state government has moved to improve special education and related services in the education system by establishing more special schools. The authorities have also enhanced the abilities of schools to lend hand to students with disabilities to succeed in classrooms. Earlier this year in March, President Muhammadu Buhari commissioned a special school in Lafia built by state, and it has since inauguration offered wide-ranging services that attracted a large number of students. Meanwhile, Technical University Ibadan has been renamed as the first Technical University Ibadan, TechU, by the Oyo State House of Assembly following the amendments of the 2012 law setting up the institution. This amendment, however, does not affect the current status of the university as a wholly public-owned institution. When we come back after the break, I'm going straight to the book review, which I call almost a book review. Don't go away, I'll be right back. Welcome back. So this is time for almost a book review. Mary Costello with Academy Street created a vibrant, warm, and magnetic portrait of one woman's life. This author did her job so well by how she softly wove her plot line with consistency in the pattern events played out. The novel tells the story of the full life of Tess Lohan, the center character, from her days as a quiet yet curious 6-year-old child living in West Ireland, through her decades in New York City as a timid nurse, and up to her golden years filled with bittersweet reflection and devastating emotional pain. The novel is a quiet one, but it's mostly driven by Tess's innermost thoughts and feelings, and Costello knew how to draw the broad and vivid illustration despite the novel's slim size. With all her imperfections and odd behaviors, Tess is yet a remarkable character, and readers will find themselves easily drawn to her story. But I must confess that Academy Street is not what fans of horror, adventure, or pure actions would easily fancy, except you're like me who can go with any reading. However, this work, which was published in April 2015, has its own unique pace and twists that the readers would need enough concentration to figure out some hidden messages in it. That is that with Academy Street, a novel by Mary Costello. When we return after this short break, my special guest, a Nigerian international student athlete, will be joining me to discuss the issues with sports in Nigeria, especially in the tertiary institution. Don't go away, I'll be right back. Now, take a walk into any Nigerian tertiary institution. The sports complex must be the easiest to locate. In each complex, there must be traces of facilities for tennis, basketball, soccer, hockey, cricket, volleyball, track and field. Also, you may equally find different swimming pools and structures for indoor sports such as judo, taekwondo, and all of that. All these are built to raise champions in sports at all levels. Many would say that was the original story. So joining me is Adedamola Adeniji from Middle Tennessee State University, United States of America. Welcome to the show. Adedamola,
Yes.
you are from Nigeria who moved to the United States, Middle State Middle Tennessee
State University.
State University.
Yeah.
You're studying sport and you're one of the athletes in the university.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a green pasture when it comes to track and field over there because the facilities are readily in place.
Yep.
Isn't that true?
That's true.
Describe what you find there.
Compared to Nigeria, for instance, because we're just a developing country, we're trying to get better at what we're doing. But in the United States, the facilities, when it comes to education, when it comes to everything in general, I don't know how to describe it.
All right.
I'm telling you, it's wonderful.
All right.
Yeah, it's well structured.
Okay, you're from Nigeria and you began your career with the University of Lagos.
Yeah, that's true.
You were the leading athlete on track and field.
Yes.
Covering 100 meters and 200 meters.
Yeah.
You were given special treatment, so I heard. Wasn't that true?
Well, not really, to be sincere. I just had a little bit of an advantage, and the advantage I had was me being popular. But when it comes to like getting like maybe scholarship, getting like some like an hostel, getting like probably some funds, no, I didn't really get that. Yeah.
Was there any contract, was there any paper to cover that in the initial stage?
No, there wasn't. Because normally I just went there to school. So, but on a normal circumstance, like after you see how good I am, you're supposed to try and work something out, at least. Because with all those kind of stuff, you get much more encouraged. Yeah, because that's part of what is really, really making our athletes not perform well, because we don't treat them correctly, yeah. So, yeah.
But you, however, performed very well,
yeah,
so to speak, because at the point you became the fastest in Lagos State,
yeah,
fastest athlete in Lagos State.
Yeah,
what could have been the encouraging factor for you?
Well, like I said earlier on, funds, because no matter what you do, all what we do is to get even though a little bit of money so we can support ourselves and support our family. So I really needed like some funds, some kits, so to speak, but
you never got them?
Yeah.
You expected to get these kits
yeah.
fund from the school?
Well, being the fact that I run for Lagos State then, and I also compete for Unilag, it doesn't really matter, maybe it's Unilag or Lagos State that can provide that stuff, which I really needed. So, I told most people when I got the opportunity, it was kind of, I didn't even think twice before I just said, okay, let me leave. Because on a normal circumstance, if I was being treated well, like to certain level, at least I would have had a rethink maybe, oh, I'm getting something here, so why should I move abroad? But I wasn't really getting what I expected to get, so I had to move. I had to go.
All right, let's talk about the academy.
Yeah.
When you were in the University of Lagos,
yeah.
what other things do they put in place in terms of you traveling? You traveled a lot
yeah.
as a student
yeah.
because you needed to represent the school in track and field.
Yeah.
How did you handle the academic aspect?
Well, we all know that it's a little bit difficult here in Nigeria when it comes to academy, because you have to balance both. Like for you to be a very good sportsman, you have to balance both academy and also your sporting life, if you understand what I mean. So it was kind of hard because, for instance, I still remembered when some students were about to go for, I think, maybe Nuga. Yeah, and they were like, oh, if you guys go for Nuga games, we're going to do this. You don't need to write your exams.
You don't need to write your exams? Was that the promise?
Yeah, like you don't need to write. Once you come back, you're going to write your exams again. Like once you come back, we can talk to the lecturers and they'll just hold it I don't even know how to put it, but they'll just give you an exam later on, like after
A
the normal student,
postponement.
yeah, something like that. But some students complained to me that they didn't get anything of such. Because me, I was so lucky during my time. Anytime I'm writing like an exam, I don't have any competition around then.
Okay.
Yeah, but some other people might have like an exam to write, and there'll be promises that, oh, don't worry, we're going to talk to the lecturer, we're going to do this. At times it happens, but most time it doesn't.
Now you are in Middle Tennessee State
Yeah.
University. That happens, I understand. A point where you need to travel and the school would need to put your examination on hold until you come back.
Yeah,
They do that.
yeah, they do that.
How does that play out? Because it doesn't make any sense. At the point when the rest of the university is writing an examination, you are out there. Then when you come back, the school is almost empty or it's no longer at that examination mood. How do you fit into examination?
That's what I do. That's why I'm into sports. So you see, there's something I know about, especially track and field, or sports in general. You see, when you're into a sport, it changes your orientation. There are things that normally, as a normal student, I don't think you can handle. But as a sportman,
No, explain this. Explain that.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. As a sportman, you can handle some stuff, because of the way you compete.
Things like what?
Like what you just said about examination.
Are you saying that sports on its own sharpens your brain, probably
Yeah,
gives you
yeah.
photographic? I thought it's
Yeah,
a myth.
no, it helps a lot.
How much do you study?
Well, I do my homework. Well, I study a lot.
Some people say most
Yeah.
sports guys
Yeah.
do not read.
No, that's a lie. Because in Middle Tennessee, if you're not good in academics, you're just good in track and field, you might probably not compete for the school. So you need to balance both. So that's why at times we're competing. Before we compete, we have to go. We have to do some assignments. We have to do some quizzes. We have a lot of things to do. Then after that, we still run. That's why it's a little bit complex. It's a little bit hard, but.
Okay, let
Yeah.
me into your timetable, especially as sportsman in the university in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, like once the season starts, we travel like every week.
Okay,
Yeah, once the season starts, I think the season starts like December, then it ends like July or June, one of the two. So throughout that, apart from let's say December, we just have one competition from January down to June, and then we're always traveling almost every week.
okay.
Yeah, so what we just do most times is you try and do your assignments so quick. At times we don't even sleep because it's really hard. We don't sleep. We try and balance everything because if you don't do that, like I said earlier on, you're gonna be you're gonna be in big trouble.
That means there is so much pressure on you
Yeah,
to
there
cover
is.
both sides.
Yeah, you have
Be
to.
good in the class and be
And
good
be
on
good.
the track.
Yeah.
How do you cope with that kind of pressure?
Well, firstly, I would say probably it's Almighty Allah.
Almighty Allah, yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we are being much realistic here. You do not have enough sleep because you
Yeah.
need to read to
Yeah.
meet up.
Yeah.
And nobody is taking excuses. You are expected to be good on track and field. Then what you're telling me is that it's all about Almighty Allah.
Okay. What I would say is it just it just works out because before I even left, I already know that this is what I'm gonna go through because some of my like a teammate that was there earlier on before me, he has already told me that you have to do this for you to be good at both education and on track and field. You have to do this. You have to have time to study. You have to have time for yourself. So most times we don't even have time. At times I don't even have time to call my parents.
Okay, while you
Yeah.
were in University of Lagos,
Yeah.
you faced the same pressure, didn't you?
Yeah, kind of. But to be sincere, it's harder. Yeah.
Yes, I spoke with
Yeah.
some coaches
Harder, yeah.
in different angles, and they were saying that sportsmen in universities are given chances to talk to counselors and all that. While you were in Nigeria, did you have that? Did you reach that point where you need to speak to somebody?
I would say yes, I did though, But most times I just walk up to my coach and talk to him. So he did almost all the job a counselor could do.
Your coach is not a professional counselor.
Yeah, he's not a professional counselor, but like I said, I think he read psychology in school, so he could handle a little bit. Because to be sincere, I don't even know where maybe there's a counselor's office in Unilag. I don't know. I don't know anywhere to go. So most times I just speak to him.
But you know there is.
Yeah, of course there is.
Okay, tell me something that you know about the corruption in Nigerian sports, Gerald.
Well, I don't know.
Did it affect you?
Yeah, of course, yes, it did. Cause,
in what area?
For instance, when we go out to compete, at times there's no fund. We just got to compete, no fund. And at times they might promise you a certain amount of money and you're not given the right amount. Under normal circumstances, like if I'm competing in the US or if I'm about to go for a competition in the US, we have accommodation.
Okay.
Like you can go to an hotel, you already have your hotel booked and everything. Your school does that already, but here in Nigeria, it's not like that.
I see.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's only if we have like Nuga games, you know, basically the school you're going to compete will make, what's it called? Arrangement for all the stuff, you understand? But normally like the school taking you out to compete.
So many things go wrong, especially within the four walls of tertiary institutions when it has to do with sports, competitions, the fund and all of that. Where there is corruption, there must be an instituted authorities that one can report certain things to.
Yeah.
You have that in Nigeria, don't you?
Of course, yes, I think they do. But, you know, like most people in this country, we are not aware of a lot of stuff. Yeah, a lot of things we don't even know about it.
You personally, were you aware of these authorities?
Not really, to be sincere. When I was in Nigeria, right? No, not really. Because, not really. Let me just put it that way. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when we come back after the short break, we'll be talking about what you would like Nigeria to change and the solutions that you can prefer. Okay. Don't go away after the short break because we will be expanding this concerning his own idea in terms of the changes. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Still with me, Damola Adeniji, Nigeria international athlete studying in Middle Tennessee State University. So, Damola, at this point, I want to know what you think could be the solutions to our problems, especially in sports at the university level.
Okay. Firstly, I would say we need to employ the right people in the right place.
We have the right people, I would think.
For me, I don't think so, because we all know that at times in Nigeria, you might be a doctor and still come into and do something else, or you get employed into another profession. So we need to employ the right people who understand what it takes to do track and field, or what it takes to do taekwondo, what it takes to do table tennis. Someone who is experienced in the field, someone who went to school basically for that purpose. Yeah, that's number one. Number two is fund. It's very important.
Very important.
I'm telling you.
But funds are released. When you read some articles, you would see different competitions, certain funds are released. And most people keep complaining about the same fund. What is going on?
Well, I can't really say, because I can't really say about that. We are always told there's fund, then when you get there, you might not see anything, or probably you wouldn't just say anything. I don't know. They need to work on that issue. I can't really say. I don't really know what's happening.
The athletes in Nigeria, the general athletes in Nigeria, do they have an association that can help them speak out?
Well, when I went to Warri earlier, I think last month, I think they're about to create something like that, or they have something like that already. You know, I've not been in the country, so I can't really say about that. Yeah, so, but maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't really know. I can't say.
Okay, finally, let's look at the facilities that we have. Maintenance culture is said to be one of our biggest challenges, especially in Nigeria.
Yeah.
What do you think could be, how do we go about the maintenance culture issue?
Just like I said, they employ the right people at the right place. You see, you can bring a carpenter to do a painter's work.
Okay.
You understand? So once you employ the right people at the right place, give them the right funds, who do what you
Are
have
you
to
planning to come back after your studies in the United States to teach, coach, do stuff related to sports?
do. Probably if I get the right fund, like I told you.
What do you mean by the right fund?
If I get the right, you know, in Nigeria, you know how the economy is presently.
Yes.
So most people, that's why you see that most people are traveling out, because it's a little bit hard in the system. Even since
If
I
it's
came back,
hard,
yeah,
it takes people to change.
that's
Some of the
true.
countries, developed countries,
Countries.
that people like you travel out to were built by humans like
Yeah,
you.
that's
Do
true.
you think about that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, like I said, I've not concluded. Yeah, I think I might come back. Yeah, because we need this country to move forward, and like you said, we are the ones that can do it ourselves. Nobody can come and do it for us. So I think I might probably come back. Yeah.
All right. So we'll be looking forward to you coming back immediately after your studies, because we need professional
Yeah.
sports commissioners, professional sports ministers in Nigeria. But before we end the program, we always have the grading segment. Now,
Okay.
the grading is A, C, and F.
Okay.
A is for excellent,
Okay.
C is for fair,
Okay.
while F is terrible.
Okay.
So we're going to grade the stakeholders in sports at the varsity level.
That's a very tough one.
Now,
Oh, God.
how do you start now? Is it for the government? Let's begin with the government, because
Okay.
they're the biggest stakeholders.
Okay.
How would you grade the government's effort in Nigeria when it comes to sports? A, C, F.
I would say C. Yeah, because we all know no matter how good a nation is, you can't just get it all right. Nigeria is a developing country, although we all know that at times we don't do the right thing.
How would you grade the institutions, the tertiary institutions?
C also.
C also. And
Yeah,
how would
fair.
you grade sportsmen and women like you?
That should be an A.
Why would you say A? Most of them don't even put the efforts on themselves in terms of developing themselves, research.
No, don't say that. Let me tell you something. You see, Nigerians are one of the most hardworking people in life that I've ever seen. I've traveled far and wide, and I know what I'm saying. It just, like I told you, it depends on sponsorship, fund. If you can get the right people to sponsor our sports, not just track and field.
All right.
Not just all sports in Nigeria. If we can get, that's why you see that most people, they go out and run for other countries.
Okay.
Yeah, because they get better, they treat them better. So if we can do that, treat our sportsmen and women better, try and create funds, employ the right people in the right position, and they just do what they have to do, I'm telling you, Nigeria is going to be the best in the world.
It's wonderful speaking with you on this program, Four Walls.
Yeah.
Adedamola Adeniji. And on the assignment, go on our Facebook, Four Walls on Facebook, and share your own opinion about sports at the varsity level in Nigeria. Just share your opinion and we'll get the feedback. This is the end of the program for today. And do not forget that sports in education is one of the key points that needs to be looked into. So until I come your way next time, bye-bye.